Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a new edition of the Daily Debate. In tonight's show, we're going to be taking a look at the World Youth Forum that took place last week in the Red Sea resort of Sharm el-Sheikh. Now, this was the fourth edition. There were many discussions, many conferences during that forum that also resulted in many recommendations and resolutions. And we're tonight going to be focusing on the resolutions and recommendations regarding the African and Egyptian youth as well. Joining us here tonight in the studio, we're joined by Dr. Sharif Amir, the Professor of Geopolitical Affairs at the University of Paris. Dr. Amir, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we start our discussion with Dr. Amir, let's check out a couple of the stories making the news today. And we'll start off with President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, who stressed on Egypt's keenness in pushing forward the bilateral cooperation between Egypt and Algeria on all levels. This came during President el-Sisi's meeting with the visiting Algerian Foreign Minister, Ramtan al-Amamra. During the meeting, the President underscored the importance of activating joint committees to boost relations between the two brotherly countries. For his part, al-Amamra handed over a written message from the Algerian President, Abdelmajid Tebboune, to President el-Sisi that focused on boosting bilateral cooperation in all fields, looking forward to more coordination and consultations with President el-Sisi during the next period to deal with the challenges facing the region and the Arab nations. The meeting also touched on the importance of holding the next round of the Higher Joint Committee on the level of Prime Ministers during this year, in addition to holding the next round of political consultation on the level of Foreign Ministers. The meeting also tackled regional issues, including the situation in Libya and Tunisia. And Foreign Minister Sameh Shoukry on Monday held a phone call with his Emirati counterpart, Sheikh Abdullah bin Zayed Al Nahyan, during which he inquired about the victims of 3 fuel tanker trucks exploded in the industrial Musafah area. Shoukry stressed Egypt's support to the government and people of the UAE, wishing condolences for the victims and a quick recovery for the injured. The top diplomat also expressed Egypt's condemnation for the terrorist attacks launched by the Houthis against the UAE. These were a couple of the stories making the news today, but now turning our attention to tonight's topic, let's check out this report regarding Egypt transferring its expertise to the rest of the African continent through the World Youth Forum. Let's check out the report and we'll be right back. Forum, in its 4th edition, was a celebration of youth and hope that highlighted a very important aim, bringing young people from all over the world together to promote dialogue, discuss development and ways of moving forward towards a better future. Held in the Egyptian city of Sharm el-Sheikh last week and entitled Back Together, the forum succeeded to host young people from 196 countries to participate in the dozens of World Youth Forum workshops and events. Youth in the Arab region and Africa share a lot of history, as well as present circumstances. This makes the cooperation between them essential for the development of their countries. African and Arab youth have grown to prove that they are capable of developing a promising vision of integration between both regions. During the sessions, President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi touched on many key issues related to supporting the security and stability of the Arab and African region, Egypt's hosting of the United Nations Climate Conference COP27, water security, human rights, and the common economic interests between Egypt and African nations. The forum carried several messages and recommendations of importance and significance, especially for African youth. That include the call for unification of international efforts to establish a unified platform of the United Nations concerned with ensuring the necessary funding for the reconstruction process in Africa, to develop a comprehensive vision with development partners to achieve an African extension of developmental initiatives realized in Egypt within the framework of Egypt's regional responsibility towards its regional milieu, to prepare specialized training programs for Arab and African youth so as to promote their skills to address the changes resulting from the coronavirus pandemic and current conflicts, primarily enhancing the youth capabilities in entrepreneurship and technology, and also to activate a permanent platform for interactive dialogue for youth from Egypt and the world to share visions and ideas. In this context, Egypt plays a main role in supporting African and Arab nations, help resolve issues, and as a key founder of the youth platform in both regions to share and exchange experiences.